And verify.
YouTubes.
Welcome to everybody on YouTubes. Let's make sure we're live here. Usually takes a couple seconds.
You're live.
Is it live? There it is. Hey everybody. There you go. Hey everybody. Welcome to We the People podcast. We are a bunch of friends and fans of the Hank Strange podcast, Who Moved My Freedom. And we've decided to bring some of the friends and fans and everybody over from that and come over here and start We the People podcast. So we're going to go right over here to this gentleman right here, and he's going to introduce everybody, and then right on down the road.
All right. Well, everybody knows me as Silverback. I'm the host of Gorillas and Guns on YouTube. I do a lot of shooting and funny, weird little things. Usually when I make my videos, I fly by the seat of my pants, and an idea pops up, and I just roll right along. Next, we got our Kentucky Firearms Network. Am I pointing the right way?
Yeah.
Right.
Some guys, Zach, with Kentucky Firearms Network. Started Kentucky Firearms Network pretty much as a pro-gun group in Kentucky. Having a really pro-gun stand, you don't tend to have a lot of pro-gun activist groups. So I went ahead and started that up. And next up we got Chris with Armament and Axes.
Howdy guys. Yeah, I'm Chris, Armament and Axes. Basically it's guns and guitars. I've only got one music video up right now. There'll be more to come. It's been mostly guns. Did a shoot with TIVAN on October 7th. You guys might have seen me in some of those. If you go to my channel, I also have them in a playlist. We will have some guitar builds, probably have some gun builds or working on guns, that kind of thing. So just getting it going. Started about 4 months ago, so it's all new. So
Heck yeah. Alrighty. So, hey everybody, I'm TIVAN from the YouTube channel theTIVANshow. We do gaming, guns, vlogs, trucking, and all kind of crazy stuff. We just posted a video today with the man all the way down over the other end down there with Chris B. We did a tennis ball gun shootout. Had an awesome day over there to our buddy's house at Max Torque's family farm. So make sure you guys go and check that out. So, Gorillas, what do you do for a living? What's your thing besides YouTube? So this is all of our introduction, everybody, so you know what we're doing and where we're going and everything, and then we're going to jump right into the subject matters.
All right. So I work at a collision center, and I write estimates on cars. I kind of mediate between the shops and the insurance companies as to how to fix the car and make sure that everything is needed for the car to get fixed properly, and that way we can get them back on out the door and back on the road.
Yes, sir.
Very fast paced. Not so exciting, but it's a living. I've been doing it a little over 27 years.
Wow. So if I scratch my paint, you're the man to come talk to.
Damn straight. You can see on my YouTube channel, actually, I got a Malibu that I'm actually working on in my garage. I got a couple videos posted up of that, so you can see some of the stuff I do if you're interested in that sort of thing.
There you go. There you go. Okay. And Mr. KY Firearms Network, Kentucky Firearms, what you got going on, sir? And you can see your YouTube page right in the background.
I pretty much am doing law enforcement, and I also work for the public school system. I worked private security for probably about 10 years, and other than that, just doing some stuff with family. Got a little girl. Took mom to the range for the first time yesterday.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, that was exciting. I was kind of proud son moment when we're sitting there and she's telling people, she's like, you're gonna. Well, I'm just like, it's like, yeah, mom learned something today. Other than that, just living the dream.
There you go. And who's next? Mr. Kentucky Armament and Axis.
What do I do for a living? I drive a dump truck. So I'm actually a truck driver. So this is our off season right now since I live in north central Ohio, and yeah, it's cold and we don't do a lot in the winter time. Every now and then we'll get a job that they'll call us and we'll go work, but it's about it. It's just downtime right now. So
okay. Now, I've got your YouTube page up, and we have a gentleman right up there. That is your brother. He is also part of your YouTube channel and everything.
Yes,
so.
Yes. That's my brother Derek. He's my tech guy. He's the computer savvy guy that helps me with a lot of this, does a lot of the editing. Mm-hmm. He's in. Well, it's funny because the video we just posted, it was shot like last summer, like June or July, and he just now got around to getting it edited out. But that was the first video he was in. He's been in, well, let me see, all but 2 of my videos, I believe. He was at the theTIVANshow we did together. I have another one that's going to be out after he did his unboxing of his Ruger AR-556. We went out on the range and shot, and yeah, it was snowing and blowing, and good stuff.
There you go.
But,
there you go.
I had said something to him about maybe coming on tonight, but I don't know what's up with him.
Yes, we're going to have him on in a later segment here, right around 5:40 or so. We got a couple special guests coming up as well. Shout out real quick to everybody over in the comments: Kentucky Firearms, Axes and Armaments, Vanessa Kitty, Micro Jupiter, Real Cujo. What's up, brother? How you doing? See who else we got over here. Oh, wait. I got to refresh my page. So, all right. We got everybody up. We did the introduction of everybody. We appreciate everybody coming hanging out.
There's Walter.
There he is. Hey, Walter. We tried to get a hold of you, sir. So we're going to have to try to schedule you for the next one we've got coming up. So welcome to We the People podcast. So we're going to break it down in 20-minute segments, guys. And we did our introduction and everything. We got about 2 minutes. So links are all down in the description below to everybody's channel. If you would like to be a sponsor of the We the People podcast, shoot us an email. It's theTIVANshow@gmail.com. Links down in the description below. Make sure you put it captioned sponsor so we know who you are and you come help out and participate and support the podcast. This will be a once-a-month podcast right towards the end of the month. So Happy New Year to everybody all the way down the other end. So, all right, we got our first 20 minutes in. Does anybody want to go over anything real quick before we get into our deep subject matter?
No, I think I'm good. I'd like to just say, hey, everybody, I see Real Cujo's out there. Give him a shout out.
Yes, sir.
Vanessa Kitty, Pitbull.
Pitbull's an awesome dude. He lives over in Norway. He is a Specnox type deal guy, special forces, awesome dude. Oh, heck of a gamer.
Right on.
Yes, sir. Kentucky. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Kentucky, you got anything real quick before we get into the next block? We got about a minute there.
I was going to show my new pistol, but I think I'll save that for a little bit.
Oh, gun porn.
Yeah.
Gorn.
Not a lot going on today, just family stuff and live stream, and went to the range yesterday and got some family members shooting for the first time. Other than that, pretty quiet weekend.
There you go. Okay. Chris, what you got, sir? Anything real special before we start in our second block?
Nothing. I was just going to show that. He was talking gun porn. This is actually a Smith & Wesson M&P 38 special revolver. I'm not sure manufacturing date. I think it's probably in the 50s, but this was my uncle's, and when he died, I got it. It shoots great. I actually refinished this years ago for him. But yeah, the thing's a tack driver, so it doesn't get out much, but I still love the thing. So got a sweet trigger on it, nice and light. But yeah, just thought I'd show that. I don't think I I didn't take that to the shoot I did with Tyvan. So
yeah, he was holding out on all the epic hardware.
Revolvers are fun. I like revolvers a lot. This is an old 1975 Colt Agent series, 38 special, with a snubby nose on it, hammer shroud, factory installed hammer shroud. So that's very rare to find on these guns.
There we go.
This gun is still quite a virgin. In its entire life of 42 years, has only had 6 bullets ever run through it.
Wow. Awesome. Hey, real quick, I did bring up Safety Harbor Firearms YouTube page, so right up there at the top. So a big shout out to Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms. If you guys want to own the world's most epic, powerful AR-15 converted over to a 50 cal, right there is his YouTube page, Safety Harbor Firearms. Go over to safetyharborfirearms.com. I do have their links down in the description below, so you can check out Mr. Walter right there. Awesome guy, good guy. So, all right, let's get into our next block right here. Guys, I have found the silver bullet that will end any and all gun laws that are in the United States right now. Any past existing gun laws, any gun laws that are being brought up for vote, this right here is the silver bullet that will end it all. It'll get rid of the 1986 ban, the whole 9 yards. Here it is. Every person that has tried to pass a gun law or has passed a gun law, all we have to do is file charges on them for violation of oath of office. Violating your oath of office is a first-degree felony and jailable, and if you wanted to push it the right way, you can convict that person on treason. The Second Amendment says, shall not infringe. All of these gun laws that are out in California, I'm just going to use this as an example, that are now on the books, all we need to do is get a lawyer, a law firm, get a judge to sign a bench warrant for these people that have passed these laws. They're already guilty. Their name is on the bill. And go and arrest these people for passing these unconstitutional gun laws. That's what I found. You can Google it. You can search on it anywhere. It specifically says right there, shall not infringe, and these people have done it. Do you guys agree? Disagree? Do you think that's a viable thing?
I totally agree. I had a friend of mine bring that subject up like 20 years ago. He mentioned that, and it totally makes sense. You know, they raise the right hand and swear to, you know, on the oath to uphold the Constitution, but yet they want to butcher it. They want to change it. And it's not only Second Amendment, it's a lot of the other, you know, rights that we have through the Constitution that, you know, and, this is strange because, you know, when I went to school, I learned about government, and they said, well, the purpose of the House and the Senate is to create laws. And I thought to myself, isn't there going to be too many laws after a while if that's all they do is just create more and more laws and keep restricting to the point of we're not free anymore?
Right.
Just my take on it. So
that's when it becomes a communist government.
Yes. So, do you think that that's viable? Real quick, the real Cujo donated $20 and said, Happy New Year!
Sir, Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you there, Mr. Real Cujo. So do you think that's viable, that if we could get people to donate to one cause and go to a law firm and wherever these people are putting these unconstitutional laws and file a lawsuit against them for not doing their oath of office? You're a police officer, right, Kentucky?
Yeah.
Do you think that's viable? Do you think that's something that can be done?
Well, it's like we talked about. I mean, it has its good points, but it's kind of like all other things. If you think of how much money that people would be losing out on if, like we was talking about, the NRA, they'd be out of a job. have these pro-gun organizations. Then you got, I mean, it's kind of like the whole cancer thing. Like, the way I think about it, like, you honestly believe with all the technology, putting people on the moon and everything else, that there's not a cure out there? I mean, think of how many billions of dollars is spent on, chemotherapy alone.
Right.
I mean, people would be losing out on billions of dollars on if that cure was to come out. That's the way I look at it. I look at it the same way as the gun deal. I mean, billions of dollars would be going out of people's pockets.
Right. I mean,
good idea.
Yes and no.
But, yeah.
I mean, I think we would still have a need for those groups because they would have to constantly have constant vigilance, making sure that it stayed the way it was at that point. You know, so they would still have a part in what was going on out here in the world. You know, as far as
very little part. All they have to do is uphold the law. So the size of the NRA within 1 year would be down to maybe 3-4 lawyers, and that's it, dude, because all they have to do is get these lawyers, say, okay, these guys in these states are trying to push these gun laws. Let's go over to that state, get that law firm. Let's find a judge that will uphold the Second Amendment, sign a bench warrant for these people's arrests, and go right in and do it. They're already guilty. There is no innocent until proven guilty because their name is on the gun bill that was passed. They're already guilty. So let's put them in jail.
Yep, like out in California and Massachusetts, you know, they're really pushing hard on that stuff in those states. So,
well,
what you thought?
Go ahead. The trick's going to be getting a lawyer to do this, and you know, you give a lawyer enough money, they'll do anything. But the trick is finding a lawyer that would actually take that case on. So, but I totally agree, Tyven. It's breach of contract. It is. They broke their oath of office. If they're going to go after our Second Amendment rights, that's.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I just seen a thing. I think yesterday, day before, it might have been on Twitter. Somebody put up there a quote from Joe Biden back in the '90s saying that the time has come to ban guns. You know, and it's like that outright. That's repealing the Second Amendment right there, and it's like
click the button to download and get started.
And he took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and he's taking it and wiping his ass with it.
Yep.
Pretty much.
There is a semi-famous guy. He's very respectful. He has a lot of honor and a lot of dignity that's on YouTube and is connected with a lot of the gun YouTube channels. And I emailed him, and I said, I'm not going to give his name just out of respect, that whole thing. But I emailed him, and I was like, look, I can get rid of every gun law that's on the books, every gun law that's being proposed right now. All we have to do is file breach for oath of office for not upholding their oath, and let's put them in jail. And he emailed me back. He goes, yeah, but nobody's going to push it because there'd be such a loss of money on the other side, his side. You wouldn't have to have all the lawyers to push in all the gun laws. You wouldn't have all these gun law firms. You wouldn't have all these gun insurance companies. You wouldn't have the NRA anymore, or reduced down to a very minimum, or the Gun Owners of America. And I've emailed them too, and they won't answer me. You know, honestly, I think they know that it's right. All you have to do is file charges against the people that have submitted all this stuff. Let's put them in jail. To me, it's that plain and that simple. It's to the core of our Constitution of the United States. Gun laws, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, we the people, the whole 9 yards. They are in direct violation of their oath of office. And I don't understand why people don't want to do it, other than money. What happened to honor? What happened to dignity? Whatever happened to respect? Whatever happened to the honor of our country?
Greed.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, too, is when this country was founded, the politicians didn't get paid. And it's
right.
Money corrupts. That's just, you know, and you start getting lobbyists lining pockets of politicians. Well, you know, I heard a saying many years ago about, you know, I think I might have mentioned this before, that, you know, water takes the path of least resistance. That's why you get crooked streams and crooked people. You know, people are like water. So
I think it is, dude. I think it's a viable thing to get these people, you know, in jail, dude. Let's get our rights back.
I think a lot of it has to do with people getting lazy.
Yeah, well, complacent.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you got a lot of these people out there now who say, you know, you should trust your government. You should do what your government tells you to do, you know, and they're just so brainwashed by all this that they're willing to believe anything the government tells them, you know, or their politicians or whatever. I mean, you know, how come you can't go out and think for yourself? You know, I mean, that's the basis of this country, is to, you know, think for yourself and question authority. So
true.
Exactly. Real quick, Dude Nader, Franklin, Vanessa Kitty, Jupiter. Everybody else is joining in the chat. We appreciate everybody. There's T Rice, also a Team Live member. So, all right, you guys have showed your gun porn.
Not all of it.
Yeah, not all of it.
My turn. This is my man cannon from right here at the house. It's a Ruger 357 Magnum. I love it. I keep it right here next to me all the time. So, what is your go-to main protection? What do you guys use?
Main gun?
Yeah, what do you carry? What's your go-to in the house?
Well, that would be, and it is live. This is my Taurus G2 PT111. You know, people have had some, and it is live right now. Of course, it's on my side. That's why I'm keeping my booger hook off the bank switch. No, people have had issues with this thing, but I'm pretty sure it's over 600 rounds now that I have through it, and I have not had one malfunction, none at all. So now my brother, on the other hand, his was having an extraction problem. He sent it back. They're working on it, so you know it should get fixed. Of course, they got a great guarantee, but you know, I've seen really good reports, and I've seen bad reports. So, but I have not had an issue since. The gun I was carrying before that, and this is one of the best gun deals I ever got, and that is a Smith & Wesson. It's not a high point. I don't know if you can read the side of it because the glare. It's a 40 Smith & Wesson 40E. It's basically an updated version of the Sigma. Now that they have done different things with them, like put the cuts in the side of the slide, and you know, just contoured a little. But the reason I ended up with this gun is, matter of fact, it was the guy I was talking about that mentioned your idea, Tyvan, about breach of contract. He worked with this guy, and the guy bought the gun. Now, if you know anything about them, their triggers are kind of funky. Matter of fact, I just noticed the pin on the trigger starting to come out a little bit. The triggers, when the Sigma first came out, the gun was designed for police departments to go from a double-action revolver going over to a handgun. Well, what Smith & Wesson didn't like about the Glocks is their triggers are pretty light. That's why they made this trigger the way it is. It's a long, squishy trigger, just like a double-action revolver would be. There are things you can do to improve on them, which I got online. I watched YouTube, checked a few things. They said, try this and this. I did it, and boom, it really did help. I've gotten used to the trigger. I don't think it's too bad. The gun shoots great. Anyway, my buddy, he comes to me and he says, hey, this guy at work bought this. Tried to take it in and trade it in, and they're only going to give him $100 trade-in. Now, mind you, you get these now, I think, for under $300. But he says, well, they would only give him, you know, $100 trade-in. I said, well, his best bet's to go to the gun show, and you know, he says, well, he doesn't want to do that. I said, well, tell him I'd give him $125 for it. He says, I'll do that. Next day, he calls me. He says, you still want that pistol? I opened my wallet and said, yeah, not a problem. And he says, "That's 100 and a quarter." And he says, "Yep." So I brought it over and I got it for 100 and a quarter. I said, "Hey, you know, it's about a $300 gun for 100 and a quarter." Come to find out, and this is funny, he says, he takes my money and kind of snickers a little bit. And I went, "What?" And he says, "Well, I got it for 115. I'm just making a little on it." So, you know, I didn't care at that point, you know, for a $300 gun for $125. And I don't think the guy had maybe 4 mags through it. You know what I mean? So he just said he hated the trigger. It's like, well, sorry about your luck. So
okay.
Gotta say thanks to Real Cujo. He actually shared our podcast on the Hank Strange page.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
hey, real quick, guys. Real quick. Okay. I do solemnly swear to.
Thanks to Real Cujo. He actually shared our podcast on the Hank Strange page.
I think I got echo. Sorry, my fault. There we go. It says, "I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign or domestic, that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God." That everybody takes that oath of office.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm still on the silver bullet. I'm just upset with all the gun laws, man. So go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, we all are. I mean, it's ridiculous that, you know, in this day and age that we have to so severely fight for our constitutional rights. You know, I mean, as time goes on, people are supposed to evolve into being you know, better, more logical people, but there's too many hindrances out there. You know, you need to think like I think. So people are just afraid to come out of their shell and, you know, do what's right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I think they're afraid of the repercussions.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's just it. So
Afraid of being ran out.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my go-to piece. This one is the gun that everybody seems to love to hate. It's an acquired taste. It's the SIG P320. I have not had a single issue with this gun. I've run well over 5,000 rounds of ammo through this thing, and the only time I've seen it hang up is when somebody has limp wristed it, and that's it.
Define limp wrist for everybody's watching. Guys, by the way, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Periscope, we're live on Twitter, we're live on Facebook and YouTube.
So, you know, what I consider limp wristing is when somebody just doesn't hold the gun firm enough and their wrist is really weak and soft, and when the recoil comes back, it snaps it in such a way that it's moving faster than the extractor can let the bullet out. So it just kind of doesn't let the slide fully react the way it needs to react. So the bullet gets jammed up in there.
Okay. So what is your what do you consider a proper stance when you're shooting? Do you have shoulder to shoulder, foot to ankle? Do you have 1 foot back? Does it depend on how big of a cartridge that you're shooting? What's your traditional stance that you find that you use that's most effective for you?
I use isosceles personally.
Yeah, me too.
I usually stand square, but I'm a square kind of guy, so you got this big fat protrusion that comes out of my front side. That's a little more comfortable for me that way.
So, did you say you got the Dicky Doo disease? My belly stick out further than my Dicky Doo?
Yes.
Okay. We're trying to be funny and her kind of, you know, not so serious and everything still,
right.
But
you know, I mean, I am Irish, so you know, it's
me too.
You guys got good beer.
It's a little problem.
Good beer, man.
Yeah, I'm Irish. Let me see, what else do I got? I got some English in me. I know I got Cherokee in me. So yeah, I'm a mutt. So.
Irish and Scottish.
Wow.
Hold the beer drinkers.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, alcohol, period, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We're on our time frame here, so are you guys ready for the third segment?
Yes, sir.
All right, Grillas, would you like to explain what's up with our third segment?
Third segment was going to be like a free-for-all, I believe. That's what we agreed. So I guess just talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Start it out. You're the man.
Well, actually, I'm looking at Kentucky holding his Walther up there, and I'd like to find out how that worked out for him. I mean, I know it's a new gun to him, so we've seen small videos on it, but let's hear the nitty-gritty.
Go.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Zach.
I was reading the troll in the comments.
Point the right way.
Oh yeah, we got some trollers, do we?
Yeah, we're all as dumb as Trump.
Hey,
Yes.
you know what? If it wasn't for Trump, your retirement wouldn't be as gorgeous as it is right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Got the Walther Creed. Picked it up on what was it? Thursday. Kentucky Gun Co. had a sale going. This is usually $379, and they had it for $279, so $100 off. Went ahead and picked it up. Came with 2 magazines, 16 plus 1. And I put 300 rounds through it yesterday, no problems. I haven't cleaned it yet. I'm going to try and get as many as I can before I clean it. And this is going to be my EDC gun for a while. And it ran like a champ yesterday, so...
You guys are out shooting, man. We got like 4 inches of snow out back, man. It's too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did against my normal thing, and I went indoor.
Oh, yeah? I thought about setting up a little indoor gun range down here in my man cave, man. I got 50 foot to the back wall. I was going to go get me one of those little Daisy Duke lever action BB guns I had like when we was a kid and set up some targets and stuff just to keep up to date.
The Red Rider.
Honey, Hastings is in the guinea pig.
Yeah.
Shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
I actually watched that the other day. It was actually pretty good.
I did too. I watch it every year.
Pardon me for a moment, guys. I got to get the cat out of the guinea pig cage.
Uh-oh, go for it. Go for it. By the way, guys, down in the links in the description below is everybody's links. Make sure you check us out. Follow everybody. We're all doing guns and gaming and everything. So we kind of get the whole spectrum of the community. You know, truck drivers, police, dump trucks, you know, investors. We got a lot of other people getting ready to come on here in a little bit as well to talk about some stuff. There's Cherry Wine. I love you, Cherry. Yesterday was Cherry Wine's birthday, so happy birthday. I love you.
Happy birthday.
I'm pointing to you, Cherry, right there.
I wished her happy birthday on Facebook, so I'll wish her again. Happy birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, I also do state. I'm also a state firearms instructor. I don't know if I mentioned that in any of my videos.
Go for it.
I've been doing concealed carry classes for let's see, 7 years now. We try and do them at least once a month. This month has been kind of slow because of the holidays. I know this is a really weird thing to talk about, but as a firearms instructor, I don't know, I was talking to somebody about it yesterday at the range. Every time that there's like a national tragedy, like a shooting or something like that, you usually tend to get like a crap ton of phone calls. And I don't know, we was just talking about the subject yesterday. I don't know if any of you all ever noticed that, but like we was talking about how after 9/11 happened, how, I mean, you could pretty much live off of doing firearms instruction. I mean, we was booking classes like once a week.
So you've seen an uptick.
Yeah, since 9/11, it's definitely gone up a lot.
Right.
And there's a lot wider of a variety of people. Like, you usually have a lot of guys, of course, but now you're starting to see a lot of older people. You're starting to see a lot of women, and a lot more religious groups as of recent. After the bad shooting in Texas, you see a lot of churches that are starting to put in new security details, which I'm actually part of mine at the church. and you just see a lot more groups coming out now and getting trained. So that's good.
Right.
It's good that people are going out and getting training, but don't let tragedy be the reason that you go and do it. I mean, be prepared, and hopefully you can do something to stop that tragedy.
Right.
I have a neighbor that he is on the Army. He was in the military for, I don't know, 26, 7, I don't know, a bunch of years. Finally retired, but he has been on his church's security team. I think they have 4 guys. God, probably 5, 6 years now. So they were ahead of this whole, all these church shootings and stuff like that. But honestly, I mean, our church does not have a sign on the door, and if I
what do
go
you mean
to church,
sign on the door like gun-free zone or something?
No, yeah, there's no "you can't carry in here" sign. So, but I tend to not see those signs a lot. So
that's the only gun law that should ever be passed. End all 3 gun zones.
Gun-free zones, yeah, true.
End them all.
And you think about it, and I don't know if that church in Texas was a gun-free zone. I'm not real sure.
I'm sure it is now.
Well, I'm sure it's not.
Not. That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Everybody's got a gun in Texas, but that's the thing. That you look at all these mass shootings, where do they happen? Gun-free zones.
Yep.
It's easy targets.
Why don't the politicians see this and understand this? Why can't they
don't want
add 2 and 2? All these
to.
gun stuff is all in gun-free zones. Why don't they realize? Right. And that's the other thing is, with weapons, everybody's whoever's anti-gun. They fail to realize that they go to bed every night protected by millions and millions of guns. The police departments, the military, they all got guns and they protect them. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean that you're not being protected. Oh, you can't carry guns, or oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. What do you think protects you every night? People with guns. I'm not nothing against law enforcement. Hey, they're upstanding guys. They're respectable. They put their life in harm's way and everything. They're an American just like everybody else. They have a badge on their hand to fill out a report in case something happens, and they carry a gun. You should have a right to carry a gun just like that police officer does. He's just an official member of society who keeps rule, law, and order, and gets the people who don't follow the laws to go see a man to either say, you're guilty, you did it, you're going to jail, or, sir, you're within your rights, we're sorry, and go on about your business. I don't understand that.
Well, the simple thing is what a lot of people don't quite understand. Laws affect law-abiding people. Passing any law is not going to, murder's against the law. That doesn't stop mass shootings. That doesn't stop stabbings. That doesn't stop shootings, period. Criminals don't follow laws by definition. That they're a criminal.
That's why they're criminals, right?
Lawbreakers.
So, laws only affect us. And when you start taking our rights away, do you think that just makes it easier on the criminals?
Well, that goes along with there's an old saying I heard, the lock. Like you think about locking your doors and windows and all that at night. Well, a lock only keeps an honest person out. So
that's exactly right.
Well,
the same thing. It's the same thing with laws.
Depends on how good the lock is.
Right. Well, that's true.
I mean, they're going to find their way in one way or the other.
Exactly. If they're determined, yes.
Right. So. The laws are only keep the honest people honest. That's it.
That's exactly right. Why don't the politicians understand that? Are they so far up in this office that they're totally detached from regular society? They've got their own little guards that protect them. They go from home to the office, back home. They don't go to the shopping centers. They don't go to the grocery stores and see average people that's around and say, oh, well, you know what? That's an issue. or hey, we need to fix that. There was a politician that was down in the Carolinas or something that said that they wanted to do they wanted to ban bulletproof glass in gas stations because they thought it was offensive. Ma'am, you never been down there at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, this whole, I find that offensive, so we got to make a, screw you. Really? Right. I mean, you just saying that offends me. So let's pass a law saying you can't say that. It goes both ways. How far do we want to take this before we can't even say anything?
Right, and that's what it boils down to nowadays, with all these different people pulling their influence in all different directions, because they're like, you need to believe this or you're wrong. You know, that's like, you got all these Antifa people out there, you know, talk about the anti-fascists. Well, they're more fascist than the fascists that they're screaming about. So, you know, it's all very hypocritical, you know, when it boils down to it, because you like you said, you see these politicians out there and they're against guns, but yet they have armed guards that surround them when they're going out into public events. So,
it's hypocrisy. You know.
Oh,
whatever happened to common sense?
Total hypocrites.
Do you see that in law enforcement when you're going around in the public? Do you see the like firsthand experience of people that's segregated like that? Just not racial or anything, but like ignorance and stupidity versus, you know, common sense of how people think. Do you see a lot of that?
I'd say every hour of the day. I was actually going to say, a lot of people that may not know, you know, Dianne Feinstein. She's one of the biggest anti-gun advocates there is. She actually applied for her concealed carry permit. I want to say in the 90s. And the last I heard, I had to look up the story. I want to say it was something about somebody tried robbing her, and she applied for her concealed carry permit.
It's all fine and dandy till it happens to you. You know what I mean? And because you think you're better than everybody else, you deserve it, but nobody else does. So that's their thinking, you know.
It's ignorance at its bliss. I don't, you know, don't understand. More people die from a steak knife, a hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Or falling off of a car or falling off a building. Go ahead.
Right. These politicians, they make up these statistics that aren't even nowhere near reality. And, you know, they put them out there and everybody's like, oh, well, I believe that because, you know, he works for the government. So that must be true. You know, why don't you go look at the statistics for yourself? You know, I mean... how you just going to go and believe somebody right off the bat? You know, anytime somebody says something to me, I'd like to go research it a little bit and come up with my own opinion on it.
I got the silver bullet, dude. Let's go and charge them for violation of oath of office. Let's put them all in jail. It's legal, it's documented, and they're already admitted to guilt by passing it. Let's just, you know, let's get some people that have some money, to have some background. Look, don't send me money. Let's find an organization that will do it, and let's go put these people in jail. It would end all of this problems. Tim was talking about down the Military Arms Channel. President Trump will never sign a waiver to eliminate this, this, and this, and this. You don't have to, dude. Let's just go all file for violating the oath of office. Support and defend the Constitution of the United States. It's plain and simple. It's the silver bullet, dude. Let's just go put him in jail. I'm done with them, dude. I'm tired of the ignorance of the people who want to do all that kind of crazy stuff. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's unfathomable.
So, all right. We got 5 minutes to our next segment. Okay.
I got a quote from Dianne Feinstein.
Go ahead.
She, let me pull it up real quick. It jumped on me. Here it goes. When I walked into the hospital when my husband was sick, I carried a concealed weapon. I made the determination that if somebody was going to try and take me out, I was going to take them with me.
What?
And she got her concealed carry because of the Oklahoma City bombing. That was the reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm. So
And supposedly it says that she no longer has it, but who knows how true that is.
Yeah. Well, that's because Mr. and Mrs. America need to turn their guns in.
Yeah.
I would have had them do it.
Dude, I'm 46 and I travel around all through the United States because I'm a truck driver by profession. And I see the different groups of people, not racial groups. I'm saying like financial levels. If you go to New York and you go to this area and you go to this area, you can tell what type of business is growing. And then if you go down to Kentucky or Texas or Tennessee or California or wherever, that same business doesn't do as well because of the group. Somebody keeps messing my camera picture thingies up.
Yeah,
So go
I
ahead.
don't know what's up with mine.
Yeah, you keep coming in and out a little bit.
I don't
Who
know why
is
it's
it?
doing that.
Oh yeah, it's you, Chris.
It's
all right. You're back. You're fine.
I turned the camera. I didn't turn it off, but it went off. So I don't know if somebody.
Yeah, your
See, it
camera keeps turning off.
just did
Oh
it
my
again.
God!
Yep.
I'm getting blocks and squares everywhere.
Yeah. Like
There
I
you
can
go.
only see a part of my forehead over on the YouTube screen.
Hey, at least you got hair.
Yeah.
Not much.
There you go. You must be trying to look something
on.
up, or are you doing something? Are you trying to look something up, Chris, or
No.
is that why it's cutting in and out?
Oh, I just have our Skype thing and our the YouTube page on. That's it. So I don't know
Okay.
what's going on. I saw that light going on and off, and it's like I'm not doing anything, so I didn't know what was up.
Okay.
See,
Anybody
for
else
me,
want to add?
I no longer have a forehead, so you got 4 fingers, forehead. There's a couple extra up there, so I got like a 5 or a 6.
I'm in denial. I'm not even going to comment. I've got
Yeah,
my hat on.
I'll leave mine on.
I'll say this, Gorillas, you got more hair on your chin than I have on top of my head.
That's the only place I got all this much hair.
There you go. So, anything else? We got about 2 minutes before we get into our next segment. Anybody got anything they want to add or put to?
Bringing back up the, you was talking about shooting stances.
Yeah.
One of the big things in law enforcement they teach is the isosceles, and the reason being,
Explain that real quick so they know what that is.
isosceles is where when you're extended, your feet are squared away, just side by side, and you're leaning forward, making pretty much a triangle with your arms.
An
The reason a
isosceles
lot of-
triangle.
Yeah.
Yep.
The reason a lot of law enforcement use that is vest coverage. Because if you're turned like a weaver stance, you got that side opening in your vest.
Right. It
Right.
makes sense.
Keeping a triangle point, you got the main coverage of the vest right in front of you.
Now, that's approximately 10 inches from ankle to ankle, correct? That's with your feet straight parallel with your shoulders out.
I don't
Is
know.
that-
I never really
well-
counted.
Oh, my God. I wasn't going to be
never
like
measured.
technical 10 inches exactly, but, close
No,
to.
Your feet are supposed to be shoulder width apart.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
whatever no,
That feels about right. Shoulder length.
that's shoulder
That's
width
good for
apart.
22. If you're shooting a 50 cal, dude, you better have 1 foot behind you.
Right there, look.
Well,
Lean into it, man. Lean into it.
I shot the Desert Eagle, and I still use that stance. So
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. You are a taller gentleman than I am. So do
not
you?
me. I'm only 5'10".
Okay, so you're an inch taller than me. Oh my God! But you're a little bit more girthier, so you can withstand the actual shock and stuff.
Yep.
I'm
I
a
got
little
lot of
dude.
insulation.
There you go. He's got a picture.
insulation.
See, now his shoulders or his feet are actually further apart than his shoulders.
A little bit.
No, I shooting the Desert
Dude,
Eagle.
That's
I
the '60s version.
Yeah.
I
There you
use the same grip, same stance for shooting the Desert Eagle. But no, if you're talking about a 50 cal rifle, well, that's a little different. That's not a handgun, so totally different stance altogether. But
Have you seen
standing
the Demolition Ranch video where they tried standing with their feet together shooting the 50?
Yeah. Oh yeah, had both of them, and then they that's his brother or something, right? And he just got.
I think he
rocked.
He did it with Roman Atwood as well, I think.
Yeah.
Did he?
Dude, I've been trying to get a hold of Roman. I don't want to be like a total douchebag and show up on his doorstep. He lives like 10 minutes north of me, maybe 10 minutes.
Right.
And I've tried to email him and try to get him in to do some gun stuff and everything. I'm not going to say he's a selfish guy or a disrespectful guy or anything like that. He's protecting himself and his family because he does everything on his land. He has a guard that sits out in front of his house. I mean, I haven't been past his house, but you can see videos of where they've got a guard out in front of his house that protects his house. He's just protecting his family. But I don't want to be rude and show up to dude's house and say, hey, would you like to come make some videos or anything? It's just, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just lives like right up here.
That video where they blew up the Jeep with the propane canisters.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we ready for our first guest?
Yes.
Yeah. Bring him on.
All right. Mr. On the Ranch, would you like to chime in, sir?
The range.
On the range. My fault. There's so many of them. Call me, dude. Jump in. I know he's watching.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm getting a good picture of your palm or whatever there. There we go.
I was doing something.
Oh, he's
there we go.
10-4. He's coming.
All right, here he comes.
High five.
All right, as soon as he jumps in, we'll. There he goes. So let's get him in. Oh, it did kick the screen a little bit. There he goes. There is Mr. John from On the Range. How you doing, sir?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. We have your YouTube channel right up there above us. So
awesome.
Welcome to John from On the Range. Sir, introduce yourself and what do you do?
I am John from On the Range. I have a YouTube channel. If you like firearms, flamethrowers, and having fun, we don't want you around.
Yeah, we saw you trying to melt the snow off your driveway. It's like, man, you need a bigger flame.
Yeah, that didn't turn out the way I hoped it would. And then for about 2 to 3 days, my wife was wondering why the garage smelled like gasoline.
Ah! I got it right up here. It says no shovel required. How to remove snow with a flamethrower. Right there.
Right.
There you go. His link's down in the description below too, guys. Everybody that's watching, if you want to go check him out. So go ahead, tell us what you do, sir. Go ahead. I didn't mean to be rude. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, like I said, I just try and have some fun. It's a creative way for me to get out there. My life is more on the serious side, just because of the type of job I do.
Okay.
And we talk about in our profession that we gotta laugh because otherwise we'll cry, kind of thing. So we do a lot of laughing, a lot of joking, a lot of dog piling on. You know, when somebody sees a weakness.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like a day at work for me as well.
Yeah.
You know?
So would you like to let everybody know what you do specifically, or do you need to keep that under wraps?
No, it's kind of come out, and I included in my Instagram handle and stuff like that. So I am a sergeant with the local police department. I've been doing that for about 20 years.
Okay. This close from retirement?
I'm this close. I've got 4 years to retirement, but we also have what they call as the DROP program. It's a deferred retirement option plan. So there's a possibility I may do a couple years of that. I do. My girls are teenagers now, but you know, paying for college and weddings and that'll be interesting. So I've done it for 20 years plus. I was a K-name handler for about 8 years of that. In the overlap, I've done 15 years of SWAT. I'm also a assistant SWAT team commander. So that's kind of my background. Those are my strengths. But I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I'm one of those Dodge drafters, as you would say, probably, Tyven. I went to college.
Oh yeah.
I went to college, so I'm learned, which makes me probably dangerous.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I try and be a jack of all trades in that matter, and that's probably why I ended up in the position I am with the SWAT team, being an assistant SWAT team commander, kind of knowing everybody's job, but not being the master of any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been told, hey, you know, show me how to use the weapon or whatever that technique is, and I'll master it. Just show me how to do it one time, and let's do it. So that's kind of where I ended up with my career, and then got into YouTube for the purpose of just having some fun. My kids are teenagers. I didn't know what YouTube was. You know, I didn't know all the aspects of it. You know, I like woodworking, so let's look at YouTube videos on how to do things or fix the car, things like that. But I didn't realize the entertainment value and all the other stuff behind it.
So you were the guy with the penknife and the stick out in the back whittling, and then your kid showed you to YouTube, and then you got introduced to power tools.
Exactly right.
All I can say is you watch a few of John's videos. I've commented. He's a pyro. He admits it. So, you know, that's all. He loves his flamethrower.
Yeah. What are you mixing in that? How do you make your fuel in your flamethrower? Is that something that you pre-mix, or do they sell you like a can? Or do they got instructions on how to do it? I've never messed with them. I've done the military ones, but not like the civilians. Yeah,
so you can use whatever type of fuel you want, and a lot of times that's what I end up doing because of whatever I have left over or something that's old. But the best mixture, I think, is to have a 50-50 mix of diesel and gasoline, so that it burns better, gives it a better stream. So.
Okay, so you didn't like use like a kerosene gas mix, or they put any type of like gelatin or acetone or anything like that? Acetone would blow up though. That's just a little more explosive.
Little bit.
Do they got instructions with that when you buy it? It tells you, it lists whatever you can and cannot use.
Yeah. There's a set of instructions, and I think it's a 50-50 mix. They say works the best with that. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't, and you can kind of tell based on how things burn sometimes whether I have straight gas in there or if I have a mixture of diesel and gasoline.
Do I have your verbal permission, because I have to ask, to show your video?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So, again, keep going. I'm going to do your driveway video here so everybody can see. So do us a step-by-step walkthrough of exactly what are you doing and experiencing right here.
So here's the deal. In law enforcement, we're pretty invisible, right? We stay out of the social media and stuff. So this has been a big comfort thing for me. But, going out on the YouTubes, right? That that puts you out there. So all your failures are for everybody to see.
Right.
So yeah, right now I'm giving you the artsy part of it. You know, starting up the snowblower.
Hey, at least yours has an electric start.
Yeah.
It only took me 3 pulls this yesterday after the snow we got, and it fired up. But of course, being so cold, it didn't want to run real well until I had to, adjust choke, and it took about a minute, and then it was full blast. So
yeah, we got you right now in the video. If you just measured the snow at 4 inches, and now you're gonna lecture everybody like, oh, I got a way to fix this. Oh yeah, what was up with the mustache thing, dude?
All right, so the story behind the mustache. No Shave November for prostate cancer, bringing awareness in November. We decided as a shift, we have 11 guys on the shift, not to shave. Well, our department's very strict on the mustache. It's basically a military mustache. It can't come past the corners of the mouth. We couldn't grow a beard. Some other police departments got the word that they could grow a beard, whatnot, but our place and our chief was pretty strict on just the mustache, and that was it. So we all decided to do it, and the guys liked it so much, didn't like it so much, they decided to make it a competition and roll it into December. And I tried to make it so it was only 6 months, maybe a year for them to do the competition, but they were saying, no, let's just do it, see how long it takes for somebody to shave. Last guy in gets the pot. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we put money on the line. Well, I couldn't take it anymore, and the pot wasn't that big because not everybody paid, and you know, people were pulling out. I think it was only like $25 for the pot. For me, it wasn't worth it. I'd rather grow the full beard.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't want to look like I was chewing on a squirrel or something.
Yeah. Beaver blew up in your face.
You got a cat under your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with mustn't shave millennium.
I'm jealous you can grow that. Both of you guys can grow. You and Zach can grow the beard.
Oh, I can grow it. I just shave it. Trust me, it grows quite a lot. Of course, it's mostly white and gray. So, but it grows. You know, when you're a kid, I can't wait to. You're a kid. You can't wait to grow up and shave. Now it's like
I can't.
What a pain in the butt.
I can get out about a ½ inch, dude, and it gets to the point like I can't do it, dude. Take it down, dude. I can't do it.
So the one with the mustache, we had a little visitor who liked our video. Somebody that you guys were talking about earlier, Matt from Demolition Ranch, liked our video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it got some traction. It helped out quite a bit with getting some subscribers and views, and that's the main thing, is trying to get that out there. You know, you can do it for the love of it, and the you know, the there it is right there. My high CDI factor, yeah.
Yeah. There it is. I had to show it, man.
Look at that raunchy thing, man.
Yeah, he's the man.
Me doing that intro was true. The only difference was my doctor is a female dentist, and I truly did apologize to her for having to deal with my mustache when I was at her office. It was terrible.
Oh yeah. I always wondered about that, because here lately it's about the guys with the big long beards and stuff. And my thing is when they go to the dentist, does the dentist put it up in a ponytail to do his work? Does he make the guy hold his beard down? You know,
I can tell you firsthand, because I had a tooth pulled a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you what. At that point, I wish they would have done something, because he was just like holding on and ripping hairs right out of his head.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ow.
I always wondered about that. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. So, not being rude, sir, we got a couple more minutes with you. What is on your horizon? What do you got planned? What's coming up? What's next?
I'd like to go into some of the archery stuff. That's a love of mine. I love archery hunting. I wanted to get into that. You guys saw some of that with, I think, this video here. Got on that side. You know, everybody's doing the 50 cal, and
it's still awesome. It's still awesome.
It is awesome. It is. You know, but and maybe, you know, I'd like to maybe start incorporating some of the long range shooting.
With something like this.
Explain to me.
The only one in the world, guy. There will never be another like it. This is a fully polished HM Defense M308 Avenger. This is weapon 49. There will be never ever another polished AR-10. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just really proud of it. Here. They even etched in my name in the side of it, dude. The TIVANshow. There you go.
He's messed me all up. I got ADD. I'm like, oh, nice, bright, shiny thing. It's.
I want to put my fingerprints all over it. Like,
oh, dude, it's brutal for the fingerprints. I'm telling you. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to get into long range stuff?
Yeah, you know. So it's just trying to, you know, get some, be creative with what I'm doing out there. Do something different than other people have done. Maybe put a little bit of a different spin on it. So I like doing that. You know, it's just a way for me to be creative. That's why I kind of got into it.
If you like a different spin on things, you should check out my snow day video and watch how I do tactical snow angels.
Oh, we'll go right over here. Which one is it now? I'm on your Grills channel. Which one is it?
Snow day.
No, yeah, it says check. Oh, season green from Snow.
Nope,
oh, Snow Day was Silverback.
Yep.
Did you want me to show it? Can I have your permission?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Okay, go ahead. Real quick, but John, go ahead, sir.
I just wanted to point out while I was listening earlier that Tyvan mentioned he wore Daisy Dukes when he was a little kid.
What?
That's not what he said, but
I heard something about that.
He said Daisy Dukes. We could replay it.
He wore them when he was playing with his little General Lee matchbox.
I don't remember that conversation.
I think he meant a Daisy BB gun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I meant the Daisy BB gun, not Daisy Dukes.
Daisy Dukes.
You got me.
And then I wanted to say happy birthday to Cherry Wine. I saw that it was her birthday yesterday. So.
Yes, happy birthday.
She's in the comments, so shout out Cherry. There you go. So, actually, John, I had talked to you here a month-ish or so ago about doing some stuff next summer and getting into the long range. And then for everybody watching, we are all within driving distance of each other. So hopefully next summer we're going to start seeing some long range videos. We just posted the one video where Chris and I were doing the tennis ball challenge. John was with us. He showed up for the pistol stuff. So if you guys remember the video where the bunch of guys were standing out and John said he was a licker. So that's him. So,
I'm good like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what was that you said, John? That you're gonna have some T-shirts coming out or some swag that says that on it?
I'm a licker. Yeah. Sanford Forest Freedom. If you're watching, sir, I need a T-shirt that says "On the Range, I'm a licker."
What kind of liquor are you?
I'll make sure I have
what kind of liquor?
if I ever come out.
I'm waiting on Chris to get one that says "Hit it with a hammer."
Yeah.
There you go.
Catchphrase. Hit it with a hammer.
Make sure you guys go check out Grills and Guns and finish watching out the rest of that video, guys. You'll like it.
I'm gonna say eat bananas.
Nice.
Bananas.
Hey, I wanted to put a shout out to Real Cujo. I saw he was in the comments. He actually subscribed to my channel, so I wanted to thank him.
Good dude.
Awesome guy. He donated $20
All right.
to the super chat.
Snow Angels are coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You got to give it a minute. First, I got to do my technical roll.
There you go. So, real quick, John, I have to ask. When I'm with the wife, she usually outshoots me, outfishes me, and that whole 9 yards. Is your better half or your kids give you that same type of competition? Since you're in law enforcement and all that stuff?
Not at all. We were talking about that today at breakfast.
Okay.
About competitions, games, board games. And they were telling my one daughter how she's not a good sport.
Oh.
And not a good sportsman. And I questioned what a good sportsman was because to me, if you're not winning, you're not a good sportsman.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't like that. The other two didn't like that too much because I always feel like if you're a good sportsman, that means you're losing.
Right.
Hey, all right, that was a flop.
I got you. I was reading comments too. So, but yeah, are you planning on doing anything with them as far as your videos and stuff, or are you just strictly going to keep it like yourself and guns and stuff? A lot of people do bring in their kids and stuff.
In it. I did have my one daughter in one of them when we were shooting the crossbow.
What was wasn't that your daughter's playing the violins?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see a
special.
She did really good. I want to see a competition video between you and your both daughters on who can properly put the lipstick on first and appropriately.
Oh my God.
And presentably. I want to see it. Hey, a real man stands behind their kids, right?
Yeah.
So we want to see a lipstick competition video.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, look at him. Uh-huh.
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch all the other videos first.
Yeah.
Keep waiting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's funny.
So, hey, well, you know. Well, hey, not being rude, sir. We appreciate you coming, hanging on, and being a part of everything. Guys, I do have On the Range link to their YouTube channel in the description below. And as always, sir, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I want to appreciate you. I guess this was the first event, whatever you guys want to call it, as far as your podcast go.
Yeah, we the people.
I'm truly honored. Also, just a shout out to everybody. Just be careful out there with this being New Year's Eve, and be careful. There's so many other ways to get home or stay where you're at. There's no reason to be drinking and driving. That's near and dear to me. I've seen way too many accidents because of that, and people's lives get changed because of it. So take it from me, from somebody that's seen it, the first-hand effects of it. Get a designated driver, get an Uber, taxi, whatever. Don't drink and drive.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Luckily,
sir.
I might be going up to a friend of mine's. I might just stay home tonight, but going to a friend of mine's, and it's actually walking distance. So it's like a block and a half away. So
make sure you're bundled up, though.
Oh, it's cold out,
that way
dude.
If you fall asleep on somebody's porch, you don't die of frostbite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, sir,
I'll just walk faster.
There you go. There you go. Sir, it is an honor to have you on, so thank you so kindly. Stay in touch, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Be safe, man.
Thanks, John.
All right, sir. Be careful, be safe. Make sure you check out On the Range with John. Link is down in the description below. All right, so we need to get Mr. Kevin Dixie in. Kevin, if you're watching, sir, just go to group chat and hit the button. Oh, I might have to add him to chat. There we go. Let's see if that will get him in.
There's his picture.
Oh, I smiled after they kicked him.
It is calling Mr. Kevin Dixie. There he is. There's the gentleman right there.
What's up, beard brother?
There's Mr. Kevin Dixie. Sir, how you doing today? And welcome to the very first We the People podcast.
I'm doing good, man. What's going on, fellas?
Hanging out.
Just hanging, man, hanging.
Yes, sir. Would you like to please introduce yourself, sir? What you do and your background and everything. And we're going to bring up your YouTube channel right here in the background at NOC Firearms. So welcome to Kevin Dixie, sir. Go ahead.
Appreciate you guys having me on, but I just want to ask a question. I just watched somebody chug a gallon of Simply Orange.
It was actually Simply Lemonade with blueberry.
All right. I'm mad. It simply makes me just...
Hey,
yeah.
I'm drinking milk, so I got me because I'm a punk. I got a couple of Java here with a straw.
Oh wow!
Nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a couple of Java with a straw. So yeah, guys. Well, first, let me say congratulations on the new platform, the new show. Big ups to you guys. Appreciate you having me on the first annual one. Sorry, I was a little difficult to catch up with, but I've been ripping and running. Life is busy, but.
You look like you're in a hotel room. You got something going on? Well, go ahead. Stay with what we're doing. Introduce yourself and all that good stuff first.
All right. So my name is Kevin Dixie, also known as KD, of No Other Choice Firearms Training out of St. Louis, Missouri. And what I do is, yes, I am your firearm instructor. I do all the teachings and all those great things. So, yes, if you need firearms training, do I offer that? Yes. On the firearms training side, we offer and specialize ourselves in teaching from a de-escalation standpoint. So everything you do and everything you do, you should do well and understand you represent many people whenever you pick up a firearm. So I like to teach from an aspect of de-escalation and using a firearm as a life-saving tool, as long as you're not sacrificing your own. So that's the way we teach. So yes, if you want teaching, we do travel. You can come train. We will come out to you and train. But if you're looking for a good, fundamental, solid training that is going to save your life, we are your organization. If you are looking for some kind of fantasy land,
fake rainbow stuff. That's not it.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do high speed, low drag stuff. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what the common everyday person is going to experience. You're trying to figure out how to make sure you can get from Walmart and Grandma's house and back home. So
you're more handguns, not so much rifles, but you do teach rifle stuff.
I'm not into what?
You do more handgun training, not so much rifle, but you do. Oh, okay.
I do more what? All right.
Okay, I got you.
All right. So,
I'm just being more specific that way because I've watched a lot of your stuff.
All right, that is a good question. So when it comes to training, which platforms do? We do a ton of rifle and pistol. Those are the two platforms we specialize in. I do have various guys on my team, law enforcement, from the military, and we use different skill sets when it comes. And so with us, you'll always get honesty. So I can teach you how to shoot a shotgun. Let's take it level 101. I can teach you how to shoot a shotgun. I cannot teach you how to run a shotgun, and there is a difference.
Correct.
So bring in guys to do that. But when it comes to these your AR style platforms, AK-47s, handguns, no matter what platform, yeah, we'll get you grimy. And even with shotguns, we'll get you grimy. Also, I'm in the Midwest. We are handicapped. We don't have a lot of long distance here because we have so many mountains and hills. So normally we can stretch out to about 200 yards. Anything past that, if you're trying to take a real, 1,000-yard course, 1,500-yard course, something like that, unfortunately, we're not your stop, only because we're limited to the terrain we have. But
now, you are located in St. Louis, correct? In Illinois, or are you in Missouri?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
To add to that, I would like, before I jump off what the training is, and I've been fielding these questions over the last few months heavily. Make sure you're vetting your instructor. If you go to anybody that doesn't have a large facility, now if you got a big school, with 30, 40 guys running around teaching, that's one thing. But when you're dealing with the more cost-effective schools, stuff you can really get into, make sure you're leery of the guy that tells you he's great at everything. Make sure you're leery of that. All right. We have to get down to being honest and being honest with what we can offer. Do we offer everything that we do well? Absolutely. But are we going to be having you jumping in squirrel suits out of helicopters and diving on top of ISIS? Probably not. So I'm just saying. So yeah,
I was down.
Big enough for me.
All right, I talk a lot. So what's next? So that's the training.
Good.
And do you want me to plug the social media? Like, what do you want me to do from here? What's your rules?
You guys got any questions for Kevin there before we keep going?
Any training questions?
It's nice to meet you on screen, Kevin. That's for sure. Of course, we've met in comments a million times, or chatted. But no, I wasn't sure. I think you had said something to Zach last night on your Facebook thing about maybe coming to Kentucky and doing something.
Oh yeah, so a lot of I think Zach was asking me about USCCA. I believe that's what we were chatting about. And yeah, I'm going to be coming to that April 13th. Yeah, April 13th through the 15th. So I'm trying to get down there that Friday and stay there that Sunday and head on back home. But yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be down in Kentucky for that. Meet and greet, shaking hands, kissing babies, that whole thing.
There you go. Now, you do travel with your training, and that you've actually had a lot of the organizations reach out to you. Like the church deal, would you like to explain to everybody how all that happened and then the end result because of the church shooting? I respect in what you're doing, and I just want to let everybody know that if you are a church member or a group, it doesn't have to be just church, your private school, right, your lodge, your business or work or whatever. Kevin does offer that type, and you do travel to help and teach too. So if you'd like to go over that real quick for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything that I do, even, and I know we're going to obviously talk about aiming for the truth, but even when it comes to the training aspect of things, there are competent trainers all around this country. Let me say that. Very competent trainers all around this country. However, you have to take some sort of pride in what you do, right? So with that, organizations or have been leery of reaching out to people for intimidation reasons. I don't want to reach out because I don't want guys teaching me how to be combative or anything like that. They can get a little intimidated by companies named Murder, Death, Kill Squad training, and stuff like that. So it can get a little timid. So what we had recently was that, and it wasn't the first time, but it was the most recent time, and I know TIVAN's aware of it. After the unfortunate, horrific incident in Texas, obviously it woke a lot of religious organizations up, right? Woke them up to protection, things like that. So I got a phone call from the local Baptist preacher establishment here in the Missouri area, about an hour outside of town. I believe there were 11 or 12 different institutions represented there, and they brought me in to speak to them about the importance of training and to also talk about how religion and guns coincide. So we had that conversation. We gave them tips and tricks. I went over the buildings with them, showed them about egress and access, things to watch out for, physical communications, humble threats. And what I call a humble threat is somebody that tries to blend in with the crowd and they really propose a threat. Things to look out for, how to watch hands and eyes, how to look at waist, how to deter if somebody's limping because of weight, limited on one side, and just various things like that, how to really watch eyes and check out contact movement and how to meet and greet and deter crime before it starts, and security personnel, how to get them trained up. So we did that, but after we did that, and it's all about being safe, the biggest thing was, out of the people in attendance, over half of them were staunchly anti-gun, and every last single one of the ones that were anti-gun flipped that day after talking. So it's that's the kind of work I love to do. So it's always about focusing on what you're there to do, but how can you sprinkle in some of those some of those hidden agendas as well, right? So we actually flip those guys into being pro-gun. And guess what those leaders of those churches do? They go back and they talk to their congregation about their mindset change, right? About, hey, now we have to be protected. So then they go tell 700 other people. Those 700 go tell the person of peace, and that's how we spread the message.
Right. You had explained in the one video when you was on Hank Strange podcast, Who Moved Freedom podcast, that you build something, you love it, you endure it, you enjoy it, and you want to protect that. And they'd asked you, well, why do we need a gun? It's to protect you from the person who doesn't follow the Lord or the law, to protect yourself and your people. You build something, you have to protect it. You just can't say, oh, well, everything's good. Right. Nothing will happen. And right. you have to protect that.
I am, and you're right, and I that was one of my synopsis. You're absolutely 100% correct, and I still stand behind it. What I like to tell people in short, though, and I am a Christian man, so I am a Christian. Yes, I don't beat people upside the head with it, but I am a religious man. I do believe in God as my Lord and Savior. So Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. However, when we're having these conversations and people of faith ask me, whatever faith, you don't have to believe
Correct.
in God, but when we're having these conversations, people ask, hey, well, how do you feel? Because different books give us different promises of, as long as you do right by your higher power, you'll be safe and you don't have anything to worry about. And so here's my response to that. Now, I've had this conversation several times. I carry a gun for those who choose not to listen to God's voice.
Hit right on the head, dude.
Yep. I am your physical, tangible consequence if you don't listen to him.
That's exactly how I look at it too. I've been carrying now for 9-10 years, somewhere in there, and I've never had to pull it. I've had a couple situations that looked a little fuzzy, but nothing happened, and that was great. But you can't have good with it. There's always going to be evil in the world. That's just the plain and simple truth, is there is always going to be evil. And unless we have a way to defend against the evil, we become victims, and it's just that simple. So what Kevin was saying earlier, in his training, looking at people, know your surroundings, pay attention,
situational awareness.
Exactly. You just really, just.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, Kevin, I know what you know this is.
I'm not mad at you.
Make sure you guys go check out Hank Strange podcast. That's like self-explanatory. But anyhow, yeah.
Yeah, you got to put your pinky up, though, when you drink.
Yeah, I totally forgot Hank's pinky. So, real quick, Kevin, let me run this past you, because we started the podcast out with this, and you're in that environment. So let me ask you this. I found the silver bullet to get rid of all of these anti-gun laws and everything else. What's your 2 cents on it? Pretty much all we have to do is go charge them for violation of oath of office, which is a federal offense. It's a felony, first class. To all these people that's passed all these gun laws or trying to pass these gun laws, let's just go file charges on them for oath of office for not upholding the Constitution to support and defend the Constitution. Second Amendment says, shall not infringe. So all of these gun laws are infringement on our rights. Do you believe in that? Is that a viable, like, silver bullet, plain Jane, as simple as you could get it to get rid of all this, the BS?
While I agree with the sentiment, it's no, it's not the answer. And it's only because, although you're right, you're correct. I'm not arguing that. That is a valid point. We all know how politics work, right? They'll try to find a way to wish-wash it. It'll never get anywhere. They'll use power, influence, distraction, whatever, to make sure it never hits home. So while it would be, if we can get people to pay attention, while it would be a great thing to do, unfortunately, because of the way politics and social influence works, it'll probably never hit home like it should, right? Even with some of the guys, look at some of the politicians around the country we tried to get out of office for various times. And I'm not talking about the presidency. I'm talking about your local alder person. Look how different that can be. So while it's great, I think that it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, only because it probably won't hit the way it should. What I think we should do long term, and I'll save a little bit of that for later because I know we're going to get into it. But here's the thing. Politicians are, let's take anti-gun politicians. They are feeding off the will of what they call their constituents, right?
Yeah, the fear.
Their constituents are, when it comes to guns, they're saying their constituents want these measures. Their constituents need to be safe. They want to feel safe in their homes, in schools, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, maybe I don't go after your office directly, but I will go after your constituents. Because if I can change those constituents, they change what they want out of you, and as a politician will do, you will fold if I threaten your office that way, because these people can simply vote you out.
And that's exactly what you're doing, is you're going directly to the community. Not only making the communities aware of the positives and security, that you're showing them that, you know, this is necessary. This is our life. This is our culture. This is our history. Don't change it, because the ramifications could be devastating. You know, that's the thing that keeps the American people free, is if the government uprises or we don't believe, we have the right to defend ourselves. And other countries don't do that. Look what's going on overseas to these other places. You know, they had that guy over in Europe that ran down 80 people in a truck. Are we going to ban trucks? It did the same thing. It killed somebody. It doesn't matter if it's a gun or not.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think that when people are using those, and we agree, and that's the one thing I'm also trying to change about the perception of two-way people, is the fact that we never are sensitive to death and homicide. We are these stone cold, don't care, it wasn't me, like heartless people. And I believe that, well, I know we all know that that's absolutely not true. And when you look at any people mowed down in a vehicle, or some idiot that hops the jogger track in New York with a Home Depot truck, or whether it's an idiot killing people in a church, our hearts always bleed for people. And there is normally not a gun person that I talk to that says, I wish I wasn't there. I wish I was there with my gun to stop that. Oh, I could have stopped that for those individuals, right?
100%.
My life in prison, I would have stopped 80 people from dying.
And look at the front of the truck. It was full of bullet holes. So the gun is what stopped it. It just took longer. If somebody was actually had a gun that was not a police officer, it wouldn't even got past the first or second person. But their society doesn't allow them to have guns. The police guns had to stop the guy.
Right. And you're also talking about a society that believed at one point in time, I think they're just now starting to change their tune. They believed at one point in time that their cops didn't even have to be armed, right? Like, it's an illusion, man. It's an illusion that guns are causing terror and you don't need guns. I mean, you know, there was a video, and I'm going to actually do a video to this video. We see these all over the country, right? These gun buyback programs.
It's a joke.
Right? You know, I love it when people do your job for you. I love getting a check and I didn't even have to show up for work that day. So this politician here in St. Louis, we just had one a couple of weeks ago. This guy stands in front of the local media and says this out loud out of his mouth. This is paraphrasing, but he says, I want you guys to bring us your guns for the gun buyback program. We understand that the criminals aren't going to bring us their guns, but we need the guns out of your homes because those guns can be used to hurt someone. So please turn your guns in. We know that Mr. and Mrs. Criminal is not going to do it. He said that out loud like 3 times. I love that guy.
Face
Thank you for doing my job for me. Because
That's
what
right,
you were
so
saying,
Mr. and Mrs. Criminal is not going to do it. So yeah, they're going to take and use their guns to go out and hurt the people who just turned in their guns.
exactly. Because what's in your house now? Because you use the term home. So if I'm giving you my gun out of my home, what's to prevent? And I don't want to hear people always say, "Oh, it doesn't happen that much." Let me tell you something. Until you've been on the end of a home invasion, all right, you can't speak at it. It is a scary thing that people have gone through. And I don't care if it doesn't happen to a gazillion people in the world. The fact that it can happen to me is enough. So you want me to give up the gun in my home for what? For the criminal can come in with no resistance? And a lot of people will argue, well, it's in your home, nothing will happen. Bull crap. Yes, it will. You know, and second to that, I don't want anybody to miss what they're really saying to you when they say that. The gun's in your home, turn it in before it hurts somebody. They just called you irresponsible. You're careless and reckless. You can't be trusted. We don't trust you with them. Give them to us. Because you're not an adult. You can't be trusted to make sure that this thing is locked up, secure, it doesn't hurt anybody it doesn't need to. You're not smart enough to do that. So give them to us. Look at the insult that you were being fed. Right? And that's what we're trying to get people to realize.
Yeah, well, to me, that's getting an echo somewhere.
Oh, echo. Kentucky,
Anyway.
Grillis, you got any questions for Mr. Kevin Dixie here?
When are you coming down to Virginia, man?
Good old VA. I don't. You know what? This is how I spend these kind of questions. I'm gonna throw that right back on you when you setting up a class.
When you coming to New
I could definitely
St. Louis?
try.
See?
I could definitely try to get something set up. I mean, I know a lot of gun guys. I mean, Virginia is a very big gun state.
And I tell you, all we need for me to come out by myself is anywhere between 5 to 7 by myself. If we can start getting up 10, 12 people, that's when I start bringing my guys with me. We'll come anywhere and do any training, man. So I would love to come down to Virginia. I like Virginia. If we come, I want to do some work. That's what I'm about, doing some work. So knock out one class, and then we can spend a second day. Well, you can throw back some beers. I'll try to drink like an amaretto sour or something. And
there you go.
Get the grill out and cook up some barbecue.
I'm all about now. Look now, I'm from St. Louis now. You know, this is what we do in the Midwest. So if you're gonna cue, you got to cue right now. We gotta,
I'm gonna cook 50 pounds of meat for Thanksgiving all by myself.
88 pounds.
88 pounds. Oh, I'm sorry. 88 pounds.
88 pounds.
88 pounds and 30 pounds of rub, juices, sauces, hot sauces. You know, a little paprika, a little bit of salt and pepper, a pinch of this, a little sugar here, a little sugar there. Let's baste it up. I didn't even get a sandwich in the mail, dude.
You know what Tyvan's trying to do? What Tyvan's trying to do is get me to give him a recipe. That ain't gonna happen. I saw you trying to hint around to it, trying to get me to do what I do. No, but you know, I am going to be doing a lot, bringing some local guys here to bust some caps with me here in St. Louis, and actually I'll go ahead and make it an exclusive since it's your first show. I'm going to open up the range here that I moonlight at. We're going to open up the range here, and I'm going to invite anybody and everybody from around the country to come shoot for free. We're going to shoot.
Address. Say the address. The whole 9 yards. Give us address. We're in.
I'm going to try to set it up. Now, I got some tours coming up, but we're going to try to set it up for this fall, and where it'll be open. I'm going to get Hank to do a stop by. I'm going to get some other YouTube guys to come in and hang out so we can do some meet and greets, some rubbing elbows, do some barbecue, do some shooting. You know, they'll have X amount of ammo and stuff for free. Then if you want to go crazy, obviously.
Oh, he's providing ammo. I got an itchy finger and it needs scratched.
Yeah, that's why you get 2 rounds of 22.
he can use my Ruger.
There you go.
There you go. Well, Kevin, I'm not being rude, sir. Give us a real quick last update of what you got going on, sir, so we can get our next guest in. So what's up? What do you got on your plate? What's going on?
The one thing we didn't get to cover, I'll try to do it in 30-second wrap-up, is the Aiming for the Truth event. So for you guys that don't know what the Aiming for the Truth event is, go check it out. So I won't even spoil what it is, but please go check it out. Go over to the NOC Firearms channel. The video is up there. It's the last video I uploaded. Give that a check out. If you want the answer to what we should be doing as a community, go watch that video.
That's the Aiming for the Truth featured in NRA TV. I've got you up right above me. Everybody can see it.
Yep.
I think I got your links in the description. So if not, I will have your link down there for everybody that's on. So
right
above me now.
Go check that out. If you want to get in touch with me, well, first I'll start with the Patreon. So anybody that wants to help out after you watch the video, if you're not familiar with it and you want to help out with the movement, also not only Aiming for the Truth, let me tell you what else your Patreon dollars go towards. We adopt classrooms every year. So we've given away bikes for good behavior. We've adopted classroom, did classroom pets. We also go help out families that were recent victims of some kind of violent crime. We go train them. We provide them with equipment and training so they don't have to repeat that exposure. So instead of the anti-gun crowd just feeding and off of their emotions, the gun community shows up and teaches them how to avoid that for a second time. So it goes toward that, and then it also goes toward Aiming for the Truth. So if you want to help out with that with a donation as little as $1 a month, go to Patreon/NOC Firearms. That's Patreon/NOC Firearms. YouTube is up there. It's NOC Firearms channel. On Facebook, two different ways. NOC Firearms Training on Facebook for the training school, and KD of NOC. So KD of NOC on Facebook, and on Instagram is at NOC Firearms Training, and on Twitter is at NOC Firearms as well. Reach out. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Talk to me. I am a guy that doesn't pull any punches. So if you got something to ask me, shoot it at me.
Straight to the point. No drama. You've got a question. Kevin will answer. If you guys need training, especially if you're in the St. Louis or surrounding areas, I've gotten a lot of knowledge of watching what Kevin does and what and all that whole thing. Go check out NOC Firearms, guys. You can't go wrong.
Anytime you talk to Kevin, make sure you ask him about his pearls.
Yeah.
Oh, we totally didn't even get into that, man. I wasn't even going to bring that up, but.
Speaking of burrows, so the burrow.
It's trending, isn't it?
Right. And it's funny. And speaking of that, here's another exclusive for the show for you guys.
Yeah,
so, been a lot of not only about the burrow patches, apparel. It's been a big thing, right? So what's up with the t-shirts? Everybody wants to support the t-shirts and get patches and get stuff like that. So first start of that is you will see me debut them at SHOT Show, but No Other Choice and Forge for Freedom have come to an agreement. And we will be releasing apparel through Forge for Freedom.
You are going to SHOT Show, right?
First one's the SHOT, and then they'll be up the following week after.
Are you going to SHOT Show?
The Duke of Burl?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get him to do the one with a burl. Absolutely. Yes, I will be. That's a good one too.
The Duke of Burl. That's awesome.
Yeah, Chris Coyne.
Yeah, that was. And you know what? You get credit. You get credit, man. I'm just going to roll with it. Probably get one out called the Burl King, and go from there. And have some good friendly fun with it. So hope to see everybody rocking them. I will be at SHOT Show. And another thing, for anybody that's on the Patreon account, you get to tell me what you want to see at SHOT Show. So it's another reason.
Okay.
So I will be at SHOT Show, and not only will I be at SHOT Show, but I have behind the scenes all access to SHOT Show. So I'm going to be places other people don't go. So
there you go.
Be sure to subscribe so you can get in on the fun.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Make sure you guys check out Kevin Dixie, NOC Firearms. I will have the link in the description below. I think it's already there, but we will have it down there. So, sir, thank you, and Happy New Year, sir, to you and your family, sir.
All right. Happy New Year to you guys as well. Great. Congratulations on the show, and hope you guys all the best, and I'll see you next year. Happy New Year.
All right, sir. See ya.
Thanks, Kevin.
Later, buddy.
Guys, no problem.
See ya. Bye-bye. All right. We got one more guest coming up. It is Diedrich from Axis and Armament, or more Armament and Axis. I'm sorry, Chris.
And it's Derek.
Derek. I thought it was Dietrich.
That was the time on Sprockets when we dance.
Oh, so go ahead, have him join the call real quick as well. Get him in here.
He's in the chat.
Oh, join in. Derek, join in. Come on in. You're the
still
next
here.
guest. Come on down to We the People podcast. I know. Walter tried to jump in too, so we'll have to get Walter in on the next one here.
Yeah, and T-Rice.
T-Rice as well. There he is. How you doing, sir?
Good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Can everybody hear me?
Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself and what do you do here on the We the People podcast?
Yeah, Dietrich? Really? Dietrich?
I'm sorry, Derek. I don't know why I was thinking to do. Sorry, man. I got your YouTube page up. So
That's all right. My name is Derek. Derek B. I'm with Armament and Axis. I'm with Chris. I actually work for a software company. We code custom software from scratch. We do security systems, life safety systems, things of that nature. And thank you for having me follow up Kevin, because I promise you I don't have a fraction of what he has to offer to this conversation. But hey, I'll wing it and we'll see what happens. But
okay.
I just got into shooting when I was younger. Chris just got me back into it, and basically I'm addicted now. So I got my first. I got my concealed carry. I got myself the same Taurus 9mm that Chris has. Went out and got a Ruger 5.56, which I'm very much addicted to. I had to send my Taurus back or my 9mm back to Taurus to get repaired. So I just picked up a Smith & Wesson 380 Bodyguard. My little noisy cricket literally fits in the palm of your hand. This thing, but that's my backup carry until I get my Ruger. My Taurus back from getting repaired. So that pretty much sums it up for me. So.
There you go. I've got your video up here of you actually unboxing your Ruger AR 5.56.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So you're the brother, and Chris says that you are the man behind the scenes that does all of the technical support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have yet to learn it all. He's got to teach me more about this editing and whatnot. But when it comes to computers, I mean, that's what he does for a living. So, if I have a problem, hey, Derek, so.
Yep. Hey, real quick, guys. NOC Firearms is in the chat right there, guys. You can highlight his name, subscribe to his channel. Also, right there, just give a quick shout out. Rover T. Rice Grills and Guns on the ranges there, Kentucky Firearms. There's Walter, sir. We'll get you in here in just a second. Vanessa Kitty, Rebelson, Jamie, how you doing? Tommy Dog, Vanessa Kitty, OX Stigma. Oh, your comment got moved by Steelers fan. What's up, everybody in the comments? Thanks, everybody, for coming, hanging out. This is the We the People podcast. Check us out. All the links in the description below for you guys to get hold of everything and talk about everything. So go ahead, sir.
Talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, where were you?
I interrupted you,
Yes, Walt or Kevin, I will get your links in the description below. I thought they were there, but they're not, sir. I will have them in.
Well, plans for next year. Well, I know you were asking about future plans. I've been tempted to go out and buy several new guns. Every time I see something new on there's a deal at our local gun store, I'm tempted to go out and buy it. But you guys were talking about long range for next year. And I'm interested in getting your opinion on this because, I know there are certainly more expensive options out there. There may be better options out there. But what I really want to get in 2018 is the Ruger Precision Rifle 6.5 Creedmoor for long range. Any thoughts on that particular option?
Depends. What's your maximum range that you think that you're going to use it and shoot it at?
What are our options up at
Club? We only have 200 there, so. But it depends on what you want to do. I mean, I have access to land that we could go out and shoot a long way. So,
Well, let me ask you this, and I'll approach it this way: the 224 Valkyrie is now a thing. It's cheaper. The rifle is a little bit more to purchase, but the ammo is cheaper than the 6.5. And you can shoot at 1,300 yards all day long.
Okay. Yeah, no, 6.5, you're about $1 a shot. 223, you can get, pretty reasonably. You can
No,
get a box.
224.
Or 224. Okay.
224 Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Tim from Military Arms Channel just did a little bit of a video with 22 Plankster where he was shooting the player card. But I've been doing a lot of research on it, and it's literally the 223 5.56 killer. The only reason I think they're going to keep it out is because it's a NATO round, and the world runs 5.56 and 7.62.
right.
But the 6.5, I don't know. I'm going to stick with my 308. I'm going to bust as many caps as I can with it for the next couple years before I purchase another rifle. You know, I've got a lot of money invested in that. I know the 308, it's got its limits, but I built my dream gun, my one-of-a-kind. There'll never be another like it, and I'm not going to buy any other type of rifle. So what came down to picking that one is cost of operation. That's what it came down to.
Gotcha. Because, I mean, from what I was told, I mean, the ballistics on the 308 and the 6.5 are very similar. I mean, 6.5, you're going to get a little bit of better performance out of it at distance. But it's pretty marginable from what I understand. So
yes. I think the 6.5 is a little better.
Yeah, I do too. From what I have seen, it's just a little bit flatter shooting. I think you're still going to get end result's going to be about the same, impact on the target or whatnot. But what are you showing now?
He's showing
You were showing
bullets.
his big one, and I'm just showing my little one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, let me go grab something. I'll be right back. Keep it going, guys.
Alrighty.
I only have small handguns. I don't have a lot of rifles. The only rifle I got is a 22 rifle.
Was in a video.
Yep, it was in a video. I got my shotgun, my 12 gauge. That's about the biggest thing I have over here. I'm kind of limited, I guess, as to size. I mean, I've shot 5.56 out here in my backyard, but the neighbors tend to complain when it starts getting a little too loud because, I mean, I got some land, but I still have neighbors. So I try not to shoot anything too big. So I've been sticking with, the little 9mm. And there's plenty of different 9mm guns out there. So I think basically the basis of everything I've been doing lately has just been all handguns, and it'll probably remain that way until I get to move to a nice big property where I can actually get some nice rifles and start playing with some bigger stuff like that. So. That's all I do.
I own several rifles, but when it comes to long range, I mean, it depends on how far you want to reach. I mean, I grew up shooting a 30-06, and I know what I can do with a good shooting 30-06. So that's cartridge I've always loved. So
been around for a long time too.
Yeah. So
Let me ask you all a question. Do you think that the 300 Blackout has lost popularity?
I see tons of videos on them.
So do I. I honestly, I don't own one yet, but I'm might be building an upper for my AR at some point. But the one thing that I do like about it is, the lighter bullets, they're supersonic, but you can use a standard AR mag. You don't have to change bolt carrier, nothing special. Basically, you can swap out upper and throw the bolt carrier group in the upper, and you're ready to go. But you can go subsonic if you do have a suppressor. I just think it's a real versatile round. That's all. The 125 grain loadings are, if you look at the velocities on those, they're just a pinch slower than a 7.62 by 39, and it's not very much. It's very, very small amount. So I think the cartridge is pretty cool, and from a hand loader standpoint, I can make them out of 223 cases. So
300 Blackout.
Yeah, it's a cut off, neck down, or neck. It's technically necked up, but it's not. It's they cut it off just below the shoulder and then neck it to a 30 cal, and that's 300 Blackout. So
yes, sir.
But
so you want to getting into long range as well, then?
Who, me? Oh, I've shot long range many times. So
I think that's the trend of 2018 because people aren't buying guns. I think people are going to step up and try something new. And what's really not being done is long range, especially from the east of the Mississippi over. There's really a limited amount of ranges that you can even shoot at 1,000 yards or 1,500 yards. I go to Briar Rabbit, 540 yards, and then we can go over to Rainer Range, and just next to Blue Rock, Ohio, and they have up to 1,100, I do believe. But you're on top of a hill, shooting across the gorge over to another hill, so you get a lot of that center crosswind. But long range is going to be my thing next year.
Well, the biggest reason that I want to do this is because Chris has been shooting our entire life. So when it comes to pistol, he takes me out to the woodshed, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon. But when it comes to rifle, I can somewhat hang with him. So that's my only shot at even hanging with him is if I go, somewhat long range. When it's come to that, I can kind of hang. Pistol, now, no way.
You have an option. You have an AR-15.
Yeah.
You can go right over to Safety Harbor Firearms, and you can buy the 50 cal conversion.
I saw that, and that is tempting. I'm not going to lie. That's tempting. It is.
We did a video with Walter, and they let us borrow one of theirs, and we shot it and did everything. I actually didn't have it long enough to really go and expand and do some more stuff with it that I was wanting to. So we've got some things that we're working out with Walter and for next summer. And we're hoping to get another 50, to get one to keep, and to actually go out and do a lot more 50 cal stuff. 50 cal is an interesting round, and you can buy it and they'll mail it right to your house. You can get a box or a magazine fed or bolt action. You change the hammer, you pull out the spring and the buffer tube, you put it down on there, and make sure you got yourself a good set of sights that'll handle a 50 cal, dude. You want to be the king.
Hey, well, I saw that video. I did see that video on your channel, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that is tempting. So, absolutely,
it's the price. You cannot beat the price for owning a 50 cal, dude. You can't beat it.
Yeah,
he has the deal.
Yep.
Yeah. I do not. I can't remember. I seen this at a gun show, probably 3-4 years ago. Someone had came out with a 50 caliber upper, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was before Walter started doing his, but guy had it sitting. It wasn't on his table. It was sitting back. He was along the wall in the building there, and he had it leaning up against the wall. And I looked, so what is that? And he picked it up and showed it to me. And it's like, but I can't remember what the manufacturer was of it, but it was a 50 upper for an AR. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, real quick, Walter, if you're watching, sir, I'm going to add you to the group call. If you have time, sir, jump in.
Walter. Come on down.
It won't let me add him. I don't know how many people you can have in a party.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So, I think you can only have so many in there. I'm not sure. But we'll try to get Walter in, and we'll do. Oh,
is he coming?
I showed some improper information. You guys didn't see that.
I didn't see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
There it goes. All right, Mr. Walter, I just called you, sir. If you have a second, jump in, and we'll try to get Mr. Walter Keller on. Let's see
What's
if we
for dinner tonight, Walter?
It's still calling. Let's see if we can get him in. So, but yeah, if you're wanting to go big, 50 cal, dude, it's just an honor to shoot that big of a rifle, man. It really is. I shot him when I was in the Army. You want to shoot out to 2 miles? 50 cal is where it's at, dude.
I don't know if we have 2 miles, but yeah, I mean,
no.
yeah. But hey, if you do get one of those, Tyvan, I will definitely show up for that shoot if you have the 50 cal to shoot. So, absolutely.
I've got a hold of VSO channel. I talked to them, and then we've got all you guys. We're all literally within driving distance of each other. So, you know, I'm wanting to get into the long range shooting, and that's going to be my critique for next year. I've got some more videos that I need to do. If I don't pop my headset out real quick. I'm working a lot with HM Defense, and I've got this one right here. This is the rifle that we did with the tennis ball shoot. Mm-hmm. This is the HM Defense upper. It does have the monoblock barrel, and honestly, a lot of people are not knowledgeable about them, and you hear all kind of improper rumors and everything. You can't do this, you can't do that. Look, HM Defense fixed every flaw that was made with this rifle from conception. With their HM bolt, you're not going to break a bolt anymore. They fixed the bolt issue. The barrel, you're never going to overheat the gas block. If you watch any video where guys are doing these cook down videos or barrel melt videos or whatever, this barrel, the gas block is made with the barrel when the barrel is made. They drill a hole in it to run your gas tube. So you don't have something that's cold shrinking while this side of the barrel and this side of the barrel heats up, because normally it blows out right before the gas tube or gas block, or it blows out the end of it. HM Defense fixed that. It heats up, the whole unit heats up as once, and it cools twice as fast. And since it's all one piece, this muzzle brake is part of the barrel. This is not a screw in. This is part of the barrel. It'll heat and cool just as quick and even faster. The harmonics of the barrel when you shoot it, when it rings, the whole barrel rings. It doesn't go here and then stop and then try to ring out to the end. They fixed every problem that was with it, and a lot of people are they're not aware of it yet. But HM Defense, when I was doing my research to getting back into guns and getting in and doing all this stuff, they were the company that I found that had the most innovative thing, out of the box thing, and fixed all of the problems with the AR. It's them. And then we reached out to ATN. So if you guys want to check them out, ATN, day and night scope. In fact, somebody just posted on Facebook that you can no longer own a day or night scope in California. It's illegal. It's a federal offense.
Wow.
Federal offense. You can't use it to hunt. You can't own it. You can't put it on a rifle. You can't put it on a crossbow. Nothing. Day and night scopes are illegal in state of California now.
Stupid.
Ignorant.
Well, they just
so what do? You take that and you mount it on a tripod. I now have a surveillance camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
For security. It's the only way around it. And ATN is based in California. So are they all going to jail?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how it would go for manufacturers. So
I think I'd be switching states.
Yep.
Yeah, I would too.
You know, if California fell off the map, there's some really awesome people there. I've got some really good friends that live there, but I can't see how they stand up for having their basic right taken away from them. Why do they stand for it? I don't understand. You can vote, or you can vote with your feet. Move.
Right.
I know that's hard, and I know that's easy to say, and doing is a totally different thing. But people, they've got to stand up. They got to go. That's why I was doing this whole oath of office thing. All of these guys that are out in California, you know, here's your silver bullet. Go down